Hey guys, Gerald Richardson here. So I recently sold a house where I wholetailed it, and I want to go over this investment strategy with you guys. So wholetailing is an investment strategy that combines the concepts from both wholesaling and flips. As you may already know, wholesaling is when you locate property, get it under contract at a deep discount. Usually these properties are off market, where you deal directly with the seller. You would then assign your rights to that contract to another investor for an assignment fee. That investor would then finalize the contract and you would get your money when it closes. Usually you have little to no capital involved other than the time to locate and get the house under contract. And we know that flips are when you purchase a distressed property, renovate it, and sell it for a profit. With flips, you will have more of your investments involved and that you have a longer time horizon than with wholesaling because of the time needed to complete the renovations. So those were very high level explanations of what wholesaling and flips are. With wholetailing, spelled with a T-A-I-L like in retail, is when you locate and purchase a property at a deep discount, do minimum or no repairs to it, place it on the open market, usually on MLS or typically on MLS, and sell it at its retail value. Most times, these are off-market deals like you would find with wholesaling and getting it at a deep discount. Like a flip, you're closing on the property and securing the deed in your name or your firm's name. You may have to use your own capital, your own or borrow funds in order to purchase property. You would then make it somewhat marketable, usually by getting a house cleaned out, mowing the lawn to add some curb appeal. Sometimes you may have to do some minor repairs, such as fixing the gutters that may have fallen, power washing the exterior, or addressing any safety hazards to help with its marketability. It doesn't have to be move-in ready, but you want to have the house presentable enough for decent photos and not to scare away any buyers. You may also consider painting the interior to make to more of a neutral palette if the numbers works. Next, you would place a property for sale on the open market. Again, that's typically on MLS to maximize the exposure to potential buyers. You will incur some holding costs by doing this while it's on the market, such as utility costs if you happen to have them turned on, and insurance. It's advisable to get hazardous insurance just in case to protect your investment. You will make your money on the investment once it's sold to an end buyer. The end buyer could be another investor, or it could be just a home buyer. There may be some closing costs involved, such as the attorney or title company's fee and a realtor's commission when you list a house on MLS. This investment strategy works well in the current real estate market that we're currently in, and where there's limited amount of inventory. Both buyers and investors are starving for houses to buy. It definitely works well if you purchase a house off market, where when you place it for sale on the open market, it would be like a brand new house to the buyers, regardless if it's move-in ready or not. Whereas a house that's been on and off the market for a while or several times may not get the same level of interest from buyers. One pro with this strategy is that you could potentially make more money on the retail market versus assigning it directly to one investor in a wholesale deal. Another benefit, another pro, is that you will have less holding time and less capital involved as you may have with a full renovation and flip. This is probably my favorite thing about wholetailing versus a flip. With a flip, you will almost run into something that's unexpected when you start opening up the walls that will require you to fix it, which could blow your rehab budget. However, with wholetailing, you're less likely to find something unexpected because you're not doing the full rehab. There's no need to open up walls. There's no need to redo plumbing or electrical. You're basically just taking something that's slightly ugly, a house that's slightly ugly, clean it up some, put some lipstick on it, and turn around and sell it on the open market. The cons with this strategy are that you need to have capital to purchase the property and to secure the deed. And because it may take some time for it to sell, you would incur holding and closing costs. Of course, with this strategy, as with any real estate investment, there are risks, such as what if the house doesn't sell, or what if it doesn't sell at a profit, or what if you screw up on the market analysis and you pay too much for a house and you're stuck with it. Again, make sure that you come with at least 2 exit strategies with any project as well as a contingency plan. With me, when I purchase investment properties, I approach it as if I'm going to flip the house or keep it as a rental. I will consider wholesaling or wholetailing if I feel the market supports it, and if I have other commitments that has priorities, such as other renovations that we're doing, and I don't want to take resources away from them. Here were some houses. So here are some houses that I wholetailed in just this past year. Let me go over each of these houses and the numbers with you guys. All right, let's check it out. All right, guys. So this house, I wholetailed, was an off-market deal that came across in Durham, North Carolina. Off-market deal, so I dealt directly with the seller. It was a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath house, 1,400 square feet. House was built in 1961. Again, it's in Durham. So the seller had to offload this house. He moved it. His mom was living there. He had to move her out, and he had to offload his house. When I spoke with him, pretty much he was firm on what he was looking for. At 130, he asked for 130,000. He was firm on that. So there's not much. It was not much room to negotiate, but that at 130, I felt that the price worked for me. At different options, I could have flipped it myself. I could have wholesale it, but I elected to wholetail it. And the reason why I wholetailed this particular house during this time was that I had other renovations that were going on that I didn't want to take my contractors off to do it. And this is when we were pretty much starting with COVID. So there's still some uncertainties. And I felt that by wholetailing it, just clean it out and put it on the open market, I probably made as much money as I thought I would have made if I renovated and sold it at a higher ARV. So like I say, the seller, he was actually a decent guy, a good guy. He actually called me up several, I guess this year. He had another house he was trying to offload. And he asked me, I asked him how much he wanted. He wanted a number that I felt was for this other house, a number that I felt was closer to retail. So instead of me buying it, offer because I'm a licensed real estate broker. I actually listed a house for him and sold it for him, and he got what he was looking for. So it was pretty cool. I first met this guy, the seller, through this house, bought directly from him, and got repeat business from him by helping him sell another house of this. So a good guy. He ended up moving to Alabama to be closer to family. So So all right. Just to talk a little bit more about this house. Again, it's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 house, off-market deal. Pretty much what I did with this house, in the front, you can see like the gutters were coming down. We pretty much just fixed the gutters, and we really didn't do much with this house. The back of the house, you can see the gutter had fallen off, and what we just basically did, we just secured this gutter back onto the soffit and cleaned it out, and we just put it back in the market. You can see the inside was a lot of junk. So money that we spent on this house was to fix the gutters and to remove all the trash out of the house. Here's the kitchen. This is what the kitchen looked like. So this was like a living room, and over here was like a fireplace. Here's the kitchen. Here was the refrigerator, of course. The dishwasher was right there. The stove against the wall. Here's one of the bedrooms. And there's a bathroom. So actually, just going through the pictures, if you can overlook the junk, the house was actually in pretty decent shape. So that's another reason why I felt that wholetailing it was good, because I didn't think It would have been an issue to sell this house in its current condition on the retail. So here's the bathroom, and this is what it looked like when we cleaned it off. Again, we fixed the gutters in the front. In the back here, we fixed the gutters, so secured it back to the house, clean the junk that was back there. And you can see here, yeah, all the debris was moved out of this living room. Here's the kitchen, and this was the front room. Here's the front door, living room over here. Here's the same bedroom with all the stuff that was in it. And here's what the bathroom looked like. So yeah. So pretty much, again, to go over the numbers with this particular deal, I bought the house off market directly from the seller at a purchase price of $130,000. I decided to use a hard money loan with this purchase. Hard money for the particular hard money for this I used was a 15% down, 6 month type of interest only loan. The loan fee came out to be $5,762. The other expenses here that I highlight was the what was this? Oh, pretty much it was the insurance, taxes, and the closing costs. So basically, my cash at close was $27,626. I had to bring to the closing table in order to buy the house. So we spent about $929 to repair, and that was just to clean out the house, trash it, clean out the trash out, clean the debris, and fix the gutters in the back and the front of the house. The whole cost to me came out to be $2,796. And the reason why this was actually a little bit higher than what I expected, and the reason why is when, again, I was using a hard money loan, so this was the mortgage payment. It was 2 months of mortgage payment. The reason why it was the extra month that I wasn't expecting was that when it did go under contract with a buyer, they actually needed more time in order to close with a lender. Again, and that's a risk that you'll have with any of your houses when you do try to resell it. If potentially the buyer may have some issues on trying to close. So with this particular buyer, it was a home buyer who was using a conventional loan, and for some reason they weren't able to close in the first 30 days. So they ended up having to extend it for one extra month in order to buy it. So I sold it for $190,000. The closing cost to me, which is mostly the commission to the buyer's agent, was $5,445. I ended up profiting about $43,000 on this deal, which the return on investment was about 30%. And if you just look at what cash I used for the deal, it was about, again, this is the cash I brought to the table to close, was 140%. So that was that deal. Not bad. It was on, so pretty much when I bought it, cleaned it out, put it right back on the market on MLS, and 2 months later, I made $43,000 on it. So there's another deal in Durham. So this house was actually a bank-owned home. So it was pretty interesting. So this house, a bank actually owned this house, and they actually did some work to the house. Let's see here. Yeah, so the house was the bank already cleaned it out. You see here. Here's the bathroom. It was pretty much already cleaned off. The bank actually did put a new roof in, and they also put a HVAC system in. So when they put this HVAC system, so this is where the issue came up with the bank when they put this system in. So what they end up when they put the system in, the contractor actually went in and he cut through several floor joists, and it caused several sections of the floor, the subfloor, to drop. Which ended up scaring a lot of investors away, and even scared the bank. So I was able to capitalize on that. So what I ended up doing, so I saw like what everybody saw, that the floor had fallen through. So it actually looked worse than what it actually was. So I climbed through the crawl space. I I saw that there was what they did was again was they cut through several floor joists in order to fit the HVAC system in. I even contacted a structural engineer to look at it too. Pay $500 for a engineer report or engineer to come out there and give me his report, and pretty much he thought the same thing, that it looked worse than what it was, and that if you end up fixing a floor joist, then it will fix the issue with the drop floors. So this particular floor was actually in. So this is a kitchen and the transition to the hallway to the bedrooms here. So this scared a lot of people away. But I was able to use that to my advantage. So I put an offer to the bank of $52,500 cash, which they accept. My expenses here was the structural engineer, as well as closing costs, and that was mostly the attorney's fees and the insurance. What was it? Oh, I ended up what was it? It was the structural engineer to review it. Oh, and also I had to pay for insurance up front. The particular insurance I got for this house, I had to pay for the entire year up front, so that the expenses to me end up being $1,114. So that again, that was the structural engineer to do his little inspection, and for me to pay for insurance up front. Well, actually, I wasn't required to do that. I actually wanted to do that. It was just to protect my investment. So what I ended up doing, again, the house was already cleaned out. The bank already replaced the roof, and they put the new HVAC system in. I ended up turning around and putting the house on MLS. I also attached the structural engineering report to the MLS, so to show buyers that the drop floor was actually looked worse than what it was. I ended up selling it for $95,000. Again, I bought $52,500, sold it for $95,000. Closing cost to me was $2,855, and that was mostly the commission for the buyer's agent. I ended up profiting about $38,500 on this deal in about 1.5 months. So yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And the return on investment to me was 68%. Again, I had several options with this house, and my thinking at the time was that I got it at such a great price, and I wanted to turn a profit as quickly as possible versus taking the time to renovate it, and then put it on the market. I ended up thinking that I ended up making as much profit doing it this way with wholetailing it versus taking the time to renovate it, do a full renovation, and try to sell it at a higher ARV. I ended up making decent profit with a good return on my investment in a little over a month. So that was that deal. And this third deal was actually a house that I wholetailed in, a house that was located in Rocky Mount. So we end up buying several houses in Rocky Mount with the intention to renovate them all and turn them to rental properties. This particular house was so it ended up needing more work than the other houses we bought in Rocky Mount. So it ended up being on the back end of our list, or the back end of the jobs for the contractor to do. So what my thinking was that while we wait, or wait to get to this house to start the renovation, I was just going to put it on the market and see the gauge interest if there were any potential buyers. So I did end up putting it on MLS. So first thing what I did, again, so it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. I measured it myself and determined that the square footage was a little over 1,500 square feet. House was built in 1900. Again, it was in Rocky Mount. So basically what I did, so these are pictures of what it looked like in the inside. Basically, only I did was I cleaned it out myself. Took about 5 garbage bags, um, gloves, mask, little, you know, some tools to pick up, the trash here. Relocated the toilets into one room. Yeah, and that's basically what I did. So the purchase price to me. So all right. I forgot to mention that I actually bought this house through a wholesaler. The wholesaler at secured it under contract for 20,000, and I bought that contract from him for 23,000. So my purchase price to me was 23,000, which was again the 20,000 from the wholesaler and he had on the contract, and his assignment fee of 3,000. My expenses was 565, and that was just mostly insurance. Again, I did insurance. I took out insurance for this property to protect my investment, and I ended up selling it. Well, it actually took about 2 months of it sitting on MLS, but I sold it for 35,000. Again, we had other projects in Rocky Mount that that had a priority as far as our renovating it. So the idea is if I wasn't able to sell this house, we were going to make it into one of our rentals. So it was either making it into our rentals if nobody's willing to buy off me while it's set on the market. But yeah, it sold in 2 months. It was set on the market for 2 months. Sold it for 35,000. Closing cost was it was mostly the commission to the buyer's agent of 1,110, and as well as the attorney's fees. I profit about 10,000 with this in 6 months, or not 6 months, in 2 months, 60 days in 2 months. The return on investment for this deal was 40%. So yeah, so that's basically it, guys. These are three houses that I wholetail just this past year. Again, wholetail is a investment strategy that combines concepts from wholesaling and from flips. Wholesaling, as far as acquiring properties off market at a deep discount, and flipping it is with putting it on the open market and getting it for the retail value. Not necessarily the ARV when you do fix it up, but as more the retail value in the open market while you're maximizing exposure to potential buyers. But yeah, that was it. So if you guys have any questions, comment below in this video or shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to help you guys out. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to this video in my channel. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.